Welcome to a late night session of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. I am George. I normally do these live streams now on Friday, but since so many people wanted me to do one, I feel compelled. Bitcoin is doing good. Crypto overall is doing good. Altcoins, Defi, everything is doing really good right now. Everything is super hot. So this is a good time. Good time to be in crypto. That's the best way to sum it up. So thanks for tuning in. If you're watching, you're in for a treat. I got my drinks right here. I'm about to pour myself one. Tonight, I don't have that much to say. I have a few articles, a few things, but overall, I'm doing this for you guys that have questions. You just want to chat. You want to do whatever. It's fine with me. So this is really time reserved for you guys. All right. So make sure you smash up the like, subscribe to this channel if you are new, and let's get started. Let's talk about what's going on in Bitcoin and crypto, and let's do an update on what has happened so far today. And those of you guys that's already tuned in, thanks for tuning in. All right. So Bitcoin is a little bit weaker than this morning. This morning shot up to 12,000. And in fact, I was surprised. I released a video this morning because there has been a phenomenon that's been going on for past 3 weeks. Every Tuesday, Bitcoin tends to dive for whatever reason. It's just out of the blue, Tuesdays. And then it recovers back up on Wednesday. And I thought the same thing would happen today, but it didn't. Today, this morning, Bitcoin shot up to as high as 12,100 almost, and then kind of hovered about 12,000 and came back down. But overall, I mean, 11,872, can't complain about that. It's still better than, a few days ago when it was a little bit lower, but overall, this is not time to panic for Bitcoin, right? If you're a Bitcoin holder, it has been shocking how well Bitcoin has held, right? Bitcoin has stayed here, 11,900. Let's just say between 11,800 and 12,000. It's been in here like for a while now, right? For a while. I mean, this is the 5-minute chart, so I should zoom out a little bit. But let's go to the day chart. Okay, this is a little bit. But anyways, you can see pretty much the same thing. Around 11,900, it's just hugging that line. And if you go back to what happened previously, when Bitcoin was hovering here and hugging the 8,800 line, guess what happened? It consolidated a little bit, and then it was ready, and then boom, right? That was a big jump, almost 3,000 point jump. So Bitcoin is looking like it's doing the same thing, right? It'll have up and downs, but overall it's hugging this line, and when it's ready, boom. The next leg up is go push Bitcoin beyond 13,000, possibly beyond 14,000, and maybe even get to 15,000, right? Then that's another high that BTC will break, basically, right? 10,500 was a big one. 12,000 is a big one. We have broken through many times, although we haven't held there, but it's just a matter of time. And after that, the next one is 13,000 to 14,000. It's right around the corner. So Bitcoin is doing fine. But while it's like kind of hovering in place, a lot of people are turning to altcoins, and altcoins are definitely doing really good. And specifically, the DeFi coins are doing really, really good. And I know most people are still not sold on DeFi, and me neither. In every video that I talk about DeFi, I give warning saying don't jump in. A lot of DeFi coins are being pumped up to the moon. But overall, I think DeFi as a whole is good for crypto because it's serving the purpose of what Bitcoin was supposed to do. Okay? Why Bitcoin was created, to take powers away from the banks. And that's what DeFi is doing. DeFi projects, decentralized finance, basically banks. And there's a lot of projects that's involved with DeFi, like even Oracle's, like Chainlink is considered DeFi, but it's really not, but it serves a purpose. But you have DEXs that's considered it. You got this new thing called yield farming. And then, of course, you do have lending, and that's the biggest one. Staking and lending. It's just, you think about it, it's if it gets successful, lending, borrowing, staking, which you could think of as just depositing, right? If that gets really successful, it does really take power away from the banks, because that's what banks do. They take your money, they give you interest, right? And they give out loans, and that's basically what decentralized finance is doing. So overall, I think DeFi is good. What's not good is the bubble that it's causing right now. There's definitely a bubble. Is the bubble going to pop anytime soon? No, I don't think so. It's going to go way, 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 way higher. Just look at 2017. Look at where altcoins were then. So we got a long ways to go. So right now it's time to enjoy it. While everything's going up, enjoy the ride. We're entering the last phase. The last year of the 4-year cycle. Some people are anticipating maybe we get to 5th year this time, but whatever. 4th year, 5th year, doesn't matter. We're entering that phase. Bitcoin's going to start rising. So will altcoins. Altcoin season will come. And this time, altcoin season could be even more explosive than the last one because of DeFi, right? There's just a lot of things going on right now. So, all right. That's my beginning spiel about Bitcoin and overall what's going on. This morning, okay, so I'm going to leave this up while I pour myself a drink here. I got almost an empty bottle of wild turkey honey, so just very little. I'll finish this, and then I'll switch to Jim Beam afterwards. So I got plenty to drink. So this morning, I was pretty proud of this thumbnail. It actually looks pretty good. So this morning I released a video called DeFi Madness, and I concentrated on three specific projects. Yearn Finance, which I warned people to stay away, and it has been going down, right? And also I covered Sushi Swap, which somehow became really, really hot. Now it's coming back down. And Curve Finance. Now I think Curve Finance and Sushi Finance, or Sushi Swap, I think they both have potential in this space, mostly because I'm going off of this new thing called LM ratio. And if you don't know what LM ratio is, you need to watch that video to understand, but I'll kind of explain it. But it's a new thing that I'm using to judge projects, because it's a metric that actually is measurable, okay? With altcoin projects, it's really hard to measure whether or not a coin or a project is worth anything, okay? Like when you have something like XRP, which is supposedly used by MoneyGram and some other people, whether or not it's really worth 13.5 billion, questionable, right? Same thing with Chainlink. You could question, even though the Oracle is being used all over the place, is it really worth 5.7 billion? Questionable. You can't really, there's no specific measurement or metric to say this is worth this, this is worth this. Same thing with Cardano. $3.2 billion with a project that's not done and not used at all, right? Is it worth $3.2 billion? See, you're just kind of guessing, right? At this point, you're just going with what everyone else is paying for it, basically. But with DeFi, there is something that you can measure, right? Although it changes quite often, you can measure it. And that is the locked-in value. So that is why when I judge DeFi projects now, I'm going to rely heavily on the LM ratio, okay? So you're going to hear me say that a lot, the LM ratio. And L stands for locked in value, and M stands for market cap. So those of you guys that are familiar with stock, PE ratio, price to earnings ratio, right? So now for this, I'm going to refer to, LM ratio. And if you use the LM ratio, you can see clearly there are some projects within the DeFi space that's overbought, and there are some that's very, very undervalued or underbought, right? So if you utilize that, it's a measurable metric, okay, is what I'm getting at. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. Things still could get pumped and dumped, right? But still, it's something. So at least there's something that you can measure with DeFi projects. With everything else, there isn't, right? So you kind of just got to go with the flow. But anyways, I think this was a good video. You know, I honestly thought it would have done better because DeFi is so hot right now. But it seems like a lot of you guys watching, maybe you don't trust DeFi, you don't understand it, you think it's one big pump, and that is all. You know, that's all legit concerns, right? So, if you haven't watched it, watch it, and hopefully it explains things a little bit, just a little bit. All right, VA. Wow, that's a big super chat. Thank you, appreciate it. Crypto Fox, DeFi will pop. Stick with BTC XRP. Well, you got the first part right, except the last part. That's everything will pop. You could argue ICOs popped, right? But out of ICOs came a lot of good projects. So, you know, I understand. I think it's the same thing with DeFi. You know, a lot of DeFi projects, they're probably not going to be around for the long haul. But a lot of these projects could spur other projects, which could be good for the ecosystem. So it really depends, right? What's up, guys? Bungalow, just like G. Kim asked us, Nulls is fine. Nulls is fine. I still have my bag. There's not much exciting things going on. You just gotta wait. Some of these projects that's not in DeFi, you know, they're having a hard time, especially if they're ultra low cap. So you gotta wait. You just gotta wait it out and see. So yeah. So hopefully that answers that. I bought mining equipment, Blade Runner says. Well, ASIC miners, or are you talking about GPUs? What are you talking about? Like right now, I don't hear almost anyone talk about mining. I hear people talk about staking and then yield farming, which, you know, is still a little bit confusing, but there's a lot of people that just doing that. No one really talks about mining. ETH mining. Are you buying the ASIC ETH miners, or are you doing GPUs? Because I was doing GPU mining. That was fun back in the day, but not anymore. 12 Vega 64 rig is making $40 a day. Nice. But how long is it going to take for you to recoup that? Are you aware of Riot blockchain on NASDAQ? If so, any thoughts? No, I have not heard of that. Have not heard of it at all. All right, so there's a few articles. Let me go over a few articles, and then, you know, I'll do complete Q&A with you guys. Those of you guys that spend a lot of time on Pornhub and you're embarrassed what shows up on your credit card, well, you no longer have to be embarrassed anymore, because you can, Jay, thank you for that. You can now pay with Bitcoin and Litecoin. So those of you guys that are afraid that your spouse will look at your charges and say, what the hell is this? Well, you no longer have to be afraid, because now you could spend Bitcoin on Litecoin. So big news. Now, whatever happened to Verge, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't followed it ever since they paid like millions to get listed. I don't know if they're still on here. I always thought that was stupid that they paid, and so many people made a big deal. It's like, oh, George, you don't understand how big this is, you know? It's worth it to pay millions, right? That they didn't have, and they got as a donation to be listed. Are they being used now? No. And does anyone care about Verge? No. I always thought that was just stupid, but anyways. So Vitalik, I'm surprised by this. So Ethereum's gas fees are like sky high right now, mainly due to DeFi projects, right? Even though Ethereum itself is doing well, it's climbing the charts. Well, I should say it's not climbing the charts, but the market cap is going up. It's not going to climb to number one. But part of the reason why Ethereum is doing so well is because DeFi projects, a lot of them, especially the DEXs, only utilize ETH. But because there's so much trading going on and everything else going on, gas fee is really high. I don't even know how high, but I saw in the comments that even to use Uniswap, someone was saying it takes $30 to do a transaction, which is really, really high. But this is the surprising thing is Vitalik is saying, for those people that are saying gas fees are too high, my answer is, well, more people should accept payments directly through ZK Sync, Loopring, OMG. Seriously, scaling to 2,500 TPS for single payment. Okay. Yes. So he's tired of people saying or asking about high gas fees. I don't know if this is a good answer. I mean, yes, these are second layer solutions. And Tether recently just moved to OMG, which is a big deal, right? So obviously OMG can handle it. Loopring, ZK Sync. Interesting. Loopring is not even a second layer solution. They're like a protocol for DEXs. So I don't even get that. And I don't even know what ZK Sync is, but there's many second layer solutions. But the people are asking because they want to know when Ethereum would scale, right? And in the past, Vitalik never really supported any of these other second layer solutions. They never officially said, okay, we're going to work with OMG and make sure that our dApps work properly on OMG, or, they don't say that. Vitalik always concentrated on moving to Ethereum 2.0 and Plasma and sharding or whatever he's planning on. So it's kind of funny now that he's just replying, telling everyone to go use a second layer solution and stop bothering me. It's kind of weird, right? But yeah, I mean, look at what's going on DeFi Pulse. Okay, every time I refresh this page, seems like the total value locked is going higher, and you could see it's starting to parabolically go up, right? And look at it. Ethereum, everything is on Ethereum. This is why gas fees are so high. It's only going to get worse. So it'll be interesting to see if these companies start utilizing a second layer solution, or they get off completely. Now, there are other DeFi projects that's not on Ethereum, and I'm going to mention one of them. So maybe they are the ones to start rising, right? Maybe they start getting some popularity because maybe eventually Ethereum gets so clogged that no one could do anything on Ethereum. I don't know, but this is the way it's heading. When do you think gas fee will go down? The only way it's go down is congestion goes down, and I don't know when that's going to be. I realize my camera's a little low, so I'm a little high there. I pointed my camera down. I tend to slouch, so I guess. Okay, so it's a little better now. Yeah, it's not gonna get any better until DeFi gets better somehow, or Ethereum scales. There's no good answer to that. Will you FOMO into DeFi? That's a strong term, FOMO into DeFi. I already have a lot. My bag's full with Chainlink. Not so full, but I had Chainlink for a while. That's considered DeFi. Also, I'm going to talk about another Chainlink competitor ban, which I talked about before. There's a lot of things that's in DeFi, right? So you can't just say DeFi as like some magical company, because there's a lot of projects that's involved with it. But with that said, I did put some money into some of these projects I mentioned, especially from this morning, right? And I'm thinking it's the same thing. It's like, I think if you use the ratio on them, they're very, very undervalued versus everyone else that's out there. So there's a potential for it to climb. And I put a little amount. So if it dips down to zero, I don't lose that much. But if it goes up 10x like some of these other ones, why not? It's good money. So that's how I look at it. But I'm not blindly just diving in and FOMOing everything that pumps. No, that's not how it works. But there are some, if you use the ratio, it does seem like it's underpriced and underbought. So I think it's worth the risk. Let's just put it that way. Pedro, I'm surprised to hear you say that, because Polkadot is already so big. I'm surprised you're not saying quant or something. Are you still into quant? It's been a while I heard you talk about that company. I shouldn't say company, project. But anyways, speaking of Chainlink and Band, Band Protocol is throwing some shade at Chainlink, and Chainlink is throwing it right back. Right? So I covered Band a while ago, right here, 2 weeks ago. And what I like about Band is they're promising they're working with different protocol, so they're not working with just Ethereum. They have a good partnership. They have things going, and honestly, they're like the second biggest Oracle play. Although there's a lot of Oracle plays that's up and coming, but in terms of the second biggest one, I think it's Band, right? And Band recently threw some shade at Chainlink because of how high gas fees are. So to quote CryptosRUs, which the CEO of Band, it's like, if you look at Chainlink, one data request right now can take almost $450 because someone needs to submit the request data to ask for the data. Let's say 20 data providers need to receive that, respond to that with 20 transactions, then the aggregate contract to do all the computation before returning the final results. All these require a lot of gas. So basically saying, if you need to get data and you're asking 20 providers, that's like $30, $30, $30, $30, $30. It's like he's saying it's just very expensive right now. So he's throwing some shade. And Chainlink responds, but basically, they say, during extremely high gas fee period, the overall cost is going to be higher, right? So the rest of this article talks about how Band says, they're working with other protocols. They're working with Icon, and some of you guys believe in Icon, one of the biggest companies out of South Korea. Also with Waves, but recently they haven't been doing too much. But here's a big one. They formed a huge partnership with Tron recently. So Tron, rather than develop their own Oracle and rather than rely on Chainlink, they actually went with Band. So this is actually a big one for Band protocol. Because Tron is one of the bigger protocol plays, right? And who knows? Maybe Justin eventually just buys Band. Maybe, I don't know. I forgot. Another reason why I like Band is because the founders, they're investors in Binance. So they're part owners of Binance. So that's also a pretty big thing. I forgot to mention that. But anyways. But then, according to CryptosRUs, or however you say his name, he is saying that, because Ethereum is having such problems, or Chainlink is having such problems with high gas fees and so forth, maybe we should get into Ethereum or concentrate more on Ethereum. so really trying to throw some shade at Chainlink, and Chainlink responds back in a very nasty way. To quote, and this is from a Chainlink spokesperson, in comparison to Band, it is also important to note that their instance on Ethereum had up to 5 days without a price data update, meaning that the data was so dangerously out of sync with reality. This is one of the multiple reasons why, while they were on Ethereum, there wasn't a single live user that was willing to tie their security to Band's Oracle on the Ethereum network. That's pretty bad. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad. So Chainlink is not just sitting back and taking it from Band. So Band definitely wants to steal some thunder from Chainlink. Chainlink has all the thunder right now. Every single DeFi project that needs to have accurate, live, and robust and scalable and anything to deal with data, right? Price of data, price of projects. They need to know accurate data. They're going to Chainlink because they're only a player in town and they have their decentralized Oracle network set up already. So yeah, but other players like Band is trying to steal their thunder right now, right? So I do think the space is definitely big enough for more than one company, right? Someone else or multiple projects will get popular, and Band, I think, is not bad, especially with this one. With Tron, I think this is pretty big. This is actually really big, if you ask me. So that is why, I don't know if this is the reason why Tron started going up, because Tron went up in big way today, I think up 15%. But Band started going up since yesterday. Now Band, when I first covered them over here, they were about $17, $18. And I know a lot of people, some people took a risk, and some people got really afraid when it dropped down to 12, 13. And I'm like, you know what? It's early, right? It's only been 2 weeks. And now it's back up to $16. So I think Band can press back up to where they were and possibly move higher in the near future. So we'll see. I think this Tron partnership could push them higher. But anyways, Tron is going up, yeah, 15% today, 2.5 billion. They kind of fallen, out of top 10, but we'll see. We'll see what Justin has in store. I haven't heard much from Justin recently. I don't actually know what's going on with Justin right now. It's kind of strange. But we'll see. Mr. K, if Tesla could go over 500 a share after split, then the alts could run up further than we think. Tesla is different. Tesla is a different animal, okay? In the stock world, people still can't believe what's going on. The shorters still continue to short while getting just hammered. And it just continues to go up. Mostly, I think it's because Elon just uses his own money to keep buying more Tesla shares. I mean, he has a lot of money. He borrows money to buy Tesla shares. And now that he's worth so much, he could cash out and wait for a dip and rebuy back in. So I don't know. Something's going on with Tesla. But if you're a Tesla holder like my friend, you're making a ton of money with Tesla. A ton of money. I hate to admit it, more so than holding on Bitcoin for the last year or so. Thoughts on VeChain and Fletch? I didn't hear about that one. Let's pull it up. VeChain, Fletch. What? I don't see anything. Did I spell Fletch right? Yeah. What's Fletch? I don't see it at all. That's why I don't like Tron as much. Justin comes off as scammy. Yeah, he does. I mean, he does. He tries to market a little bit too hard, and he made some mistakes, got caught with lies. What he did with Steam is still questionable. I kind of agreed with him at first, because if you're going to buy a project, you should control it. But, because it's a decentralized project, and then he, tricked the exchanges to, lock them out. It's it got really hairy. I still think it's hairy. So I don't know. Matthew says Tesla making all of us look like idiots. I did buy some Tesla before. I bought just a few shares. After the split, I have a few more, but still nothing's that substantial. Had I put everything, all my Bitcoin into Tesla within the last 2 years, yeah, I would have really made a ton like my friend, but I did not do that because I believe in Bitcoin. Yeah, I think some parts of my desktop is not showing because the screen I have in OBS, so hopefully it doesn't cut everything off. Thoughts on Loopring? Man, I haven't looked into Loopring for a long time. I know they, just like 0x, was concentrating on decentralized exchange protocol. Now Loopring had a really close relationship with Neo, and Ontology. So that gave them a leg up, but 0x has really close ties with Coinbase. So I don't know. Loopring kind of fell off the radar. I don't know if they came back recently. Yeah, they're doing really well. Much better than I expected. 250 billion, a million. ZK rollup exchange and payment protocol. Yes. Loopring allows anyone to build high throughput non-custodial order book based exchanges on Ethereum, okay, by leveraging zero knowledge proofs. Yep. So that's still the same as before. The problem is, it seems like they have just gone to only Ethereum. I just mentioned about they were working with Neo before. And it seems like that may have changed. So now they're only concentrating on Ethereum. So that's a problem. I mean, that's a problem because Ethereum is already congested enough, So I don't know. And there's a lot of dexes now. Like Uniswap is so hot right now. There's others. Curve Finance I mentioned is for stable coins. So there's a lot that's really, a lot of dexes that's getting popular now. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's just say neutral for Loop Ring. UMA, the powerhouse. Synthetic derivatives, Oracle platform. This market is massive. Pedro, did you like switch to all DeFi coins now? What happened to the other ones I used to mention? I know UMA has pumped up quite dramatically. A lot of these DeFi projects have pumped up quite dramatically, right? I mean, UMA is close within the top 20 already, just out of nowhere. Aave is nearing $1 billion. Yearn Finance is nearing $1 billion. I mean, at one point they were above $1 billion, right? Compound, Synthetic. I mean, these guys are just going sky high. Now, the one project that isn't benefiting from all these pumps is Uniswap. Uniswap doesn't have any governance token. There's like placeholder tokens if you're like staking in a liquidity pool, but they don't have like a native token that you can pump, right? So that's the only thing with Uniswap. Everyone else has a token. So that's why SushiSwap is like a fork of Uniswap, and it does have Sushi tokens as a governance token, which it was being pumped today. All of a sudden, it just got added on Binance. But no one knows who started SushiSwap. It could be the same guys in Uniswap, and they're just hiding it because they want to become billionaires like all these other project owners. So who knows? But yeah. Good for you, Pedro. Good for you. I'm traditionalist. VeChain, Digibyte, Redcoin, Sia. What, Joel? I appreciate you not staying with DeFi or not jumping in DeFi, but man, you gotta get rid of some of those holdings, man. Like Sia Coin. Why are you still holding a Sia Coin or MPXS? Shoot, I forgot what they're called. Shoot, people used to always ask me that. What is that one? I forgot. Yeah, Pundi, that's it. Sia, Pundi, Red, they're not going anywhere. Neither is Digibyte. Digibyte, I mean, the main guy even left Digibyte. Okay, they're not going anywhere. VeChain is the only one that out of that 5 that's really worth holding, in my opinion. Blade Runner, come on, be nice now. Be nice. Let's keep it calm and cool in here and have a good time. All right, Matt, tell me what you think DGB or Digibyte will do. You say it's go do things. Enlighten me. What do you think it's go do? What percentage of my portfolio do I have in DeFi? Very small. Very small. Yeah, VeChain is going to be a monster in the future. All right. It's already a monster in terms of how many companies it's partner up with, like true legit multi-billion-dollar companies. I think a lot of people still is sleeping on VeChain. It's definitely going to be in top 10 in the future. So there's no doubt VeChain is going to be huge. But the other ones like Sia Coin with storage, Redcoin, which I don't know what they're doing. Pundi is basically dead. Those companies are not doing it. Digibyte, I'm still waiting for Matt to answer why he thinks Digibyte will do great things in the future. I kind of understand yield farming and I kind of don't. It seems like all these projects have a certain amount of tokens to give away, and if you stake within their liquidity pool, then you get a piece of the tokens they're giving away. And yield farming swaps you between different projects that give away tokens. So if essentially you're getting the maximum interest or maximum fees that you could collect, and it's switching between different projects. But there's different things to it. Like someone was telling me that they were getting like 3,000% by yield farming sushi on UMA. I don't get that. I haven't used it, but in general terms, that's what yield farming is. You have multiple lenders, with different interest rates or different fees you could collect, and it automatically switches you to the highest paying one. So I kind of get it and kind of don't. Bundy has a POS and a working product. Yeah, but no one is using it and no one is purchasing it. At the beginning, they said, they shipped out 5,000 units. I bet out of that 5,000 units, 4,999 of them have been thrown into garbage. There's no one that accepts it. Square is the big player. And Jack Dorsey, any minute now, he's going to turn on crypto payments. Okay, and that is going to be enormous. Jack is so into Bitcoin, not so much into all their altcoins, but Bitcoin. And Square is so widely adopted everywhere. He could easily turn on, like, flick a switch, easily turn on Bitcoin payments, and it will be used at every Square terminal or dongle or whatever. So that's why Pundi, I don't think, have much future at all. Do you think XRP can go back to all-time highs realistically? Well, that's a good question. So I have a video specifically for that. And if you enjoy this video and you think that this video makes a whole lot of sense, then yes, XRP could definitely reach all-time high again. So take a look at the video.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
Hopefully. If you understood that, and you think it's believable, then yeah, XRP could definitely get back up to all-time high. Alan, come on. You guys got any legit questions here? Thoughts on Origin Protocol. Founders of YouTube and Reddit are both invested with engineers from YouTube, PayPal, creating a decentralized e-commerce platform. Well, I think I've seen it before. Someone asked me this before. Let's take a look again. Blockchain-powered e-commerce is the future. Let's look at the team and investors. 38 million raised. That's a lot. That's a lot. The 800 plus investors. Jesus. Pantera Capital. That's a huge one. Blockchain.com. I haven't heard of other companies. No, FBG. I think they're pretty big from Asia. Steve Chen. He's invested in all over the place. He's also advisor to Theta. And even though he's advisor to Theta, I don't know how much he's actually contributing. So I don't know if this guy really is contributing. I mean, of course, he's the founder of YouTube, so he has a lot of clout. But Alexis, yeah, he's founder of Reddit. You know, a funny story about Reddit. Like years back, before Reddit became as big as it is, I went to some kind of like convention, right? I was actually promoting an app I created called My Life Rank, where it's kind of like Facebook, but you get ranked based on certain criteria. But anyways, and one of the Reddit founders was there, like a young kid, and I forgot his name. It's not Alexis, it's someone else. And, you know, he was up on stage saying that, you know what, Reddit wasn't going anywhere, and I sold it. And I bet he sold it for next to nothing. Now I bet he's kicking himself because Reddit has become so big and he has no stake in Reddit at all anymore. I forgot who his name was. Let me see if I can find him. Yes, this guy, Steve Huffman. Yes, it's this guy. So I met this guy. I met this guy before. And, you know, this was years back. So this was probably like at least 10 to 12 years ago. And I met this guy. And I don't know how much he sold his stake for. I guess this is probably not going to say how much he sold it for. Oh, here we go. It does say. Wow. He sold his share somewhere between 10 to 20 million. Huffman and his partner. So they sold it. They sold it for 10 to 20 million. Guess what? Reddit? Well, that's a good amount. I'm not going to bash that. I wish I had 10 to 20 million. But had they kept it, that 10 to 20 million, it's probably worth $10 billion today. Reddit is one of the biggest internet sites out there. So he got his money, but had he kept it since 2006 to now, he would be a billionaire. But maybe he put that money in Bitcoin and he is a billionaire, so who knows? Maybe he is a billionaire. But anyways, I met this guy before. Just a side note. What would happen if Craig turned out to be Satoshi? Nothing. Yeah, nothing. The only thing people will care about is if he actually has the private key with him to unlock the billion Bitcoin and he would sell it. That's the only thing people care about. At this point, if he turned out he is the true Satoshi, which to be honest, I think he's part of the team. Him and Dave Kleeman, they probably created together. So he is probably 50% of Satoshi, to be honest. He probably worked on a white paper and worked on a lot of stuff, worked on Bitcoin Talk or whatever, but he probably didn't work on the code himself. That was Dave. But at this point, no one cares because he's just gone off rails. Just like no one cares about, Roger Ver anymore. Does seriously, does anyone talk about Roger Ver? No. Does anyone talk about Craig Wright? No, because it just doesn't really matter anymore, right? The only thing people care about is if they happen to decide to dump their Bitcoin, which they wouldn't. Hello there. Stop asking about Zilliqa. I gave on Zilliqa since the CEO and CTO both left the company. So that's a sure sign that there's trouble. So now you don't even know who's running the thing. Last time I checked Zilliqa, it's just like a open source page with all these people from around the world, and you don't even know who's leading the project anymore. It's a mess. So I would get out of Zilliqa. You think Bitcoin will go to 1 million in December? No, I do not think Bitcoin will go to 1 million in December. I'm not John McAfee, and neither does he. John McAfee is just a paid shill at this point. All of a sudden, all of a sudden last year he's like, oh, I'm joking, I never meant it, and he started shilling Skycoin or whatever coin he was shilling. Even his security coin that he was shilling, he got booted out or something like that, or he left the company or whatever. He only gets into projects because he's paid handsomely to talk about it, which is surprising. You would figure he's already a multimillionaire. Why does he need more money to like basically sell out his soul for these like shit coins, right? So I don't know. I lost all respect in John McAfee. At first he was entertaining. Now it's just sad. I did want to do that, Jeffrey. I mean, I posted. I know a lot of you guys like cars, but whenever I talk about cars in this channel, people get pissed off. I don't get how people just don't like cars. First of all, and to be honest, if you're a guy, this is my my own opinion. If you're a guy, you should like cars. Okay, just like you should like sports, and you like to make money. But yeah, I was thinking about doing live stream on Drivers Only, but that channel, even though it's very popular, it's not as personal as like this one. This one, you guys like to interact with me. You guys like been following for a while. On Drivers Only, people just tune into the car they like, and that's it. So if I have a live session on there, I don't think I'm gonna have that many people, but I want to give it a try anyways. So yeah, 545i 6-speed, not bad. I love 6-speed or manual cars, right? Nowadays, so hard. New kids coming into the space that's learning how to drive. No one knows how to drive stick. It's all reserved for the old school guys. I love driving manual. Like if you have a manual car, weekend car, it's perfect. It's perfect. Cars are like appliances to me. I like fixing them. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I used to work on cars religiously. Now I just don't have time. I don't even do my own oil changes. Honestly, it's like $30, $20 to do an oil change somewhere else where I don't have to get dirty. Have at it. I'd rather pay the $30 to do it myself, right? So I know, I get it. It depends on your life, right? But I still love cars. If I see a Lambo on the street, I still love it. I still look at it, right? When I review cars, when I'm driving a manual, driving something special, I enjoy it. Tokyo, what is your question? Matt, thank you for that. It's good. I finished this bottle. So if I continue on, I'm gonna have to start my other bottle, and then that's it. I keep finishing my whiskey bottles for some reason. If you're driving a Tesla, yes, it's a computer. It's just one gigantic computer. But I can't wait till the day where Tesla can just drive you to work or drive you to Target or drive you to Home Depot without you needing to drive. There are days that I think I would really enjoy that, especially during traffic hours, right? But I would still always love to drive a big, gas-thirsty V8 6-speed, on the weekends. That would never change. Do you have to watch the road when self-driving cars exist? No. When true level 5, they call it level 5 autonomous driving, there's not even a steering wheel in the cabin anymore. You can't even control it. So we'll see. Cosmos, people ask about Cosmos. Cosmos is a fine project. It's a fine project, and it's been a little lackluster recently, but overall it's doing fine. There's a lot of companies that's starting to build on top of Cosmos. They don't have the same scaling issue. Where's Cosmos? It's fallen. Man, it's fallen quite a bit, even under Neo now. So here's the thing. Neo has absolutely nothing going for it right now, yet it somehow climbed above Cosmos. I mean, See, this is sometimes things just don't make sense in crypto world, right? Just like Cardano has nothing going for it right now. I'm not trying to pick on Cardano. They're building progress, but they don't have a working product yet. Yet they're still at $3.2 billion. So yeah, crypto's a little weird at times. Elron. Oh shoot, I got confused between Elron and Band. I'm glad you brought that up. So I apologize. Earlier when I said Band's founders are investors in Binance. No, it's Elron. It's not Band. So I apologize. Thanks for bringing that up. Elron is also it's a protocol coin. It could scale. It has sharding already. The mainnet is live. The founders are investors in Binance. They have close relationship with Binance, obviously. Elron is a great product, but not a lot of people are paying attention to it right now because they're paying attention to DeFi. Honestly, Elron did pump up. They're not doing bad. 270 million. But recently they just have not moved. DeFi money, they got added on to Binance, which is why they pumped up. They're like Yearn Finance 2.0. That's what they are. So, yeah. I hear no one talking about Holochain anymore. Holochain is more like a DAG, like IOTA and Nano. Works a little bit differently, but overall it's more like a DAG than a blockchain. But I don't hear anyone talk about Holochain anymore. So I think they lost that spark. Sushi. Well, that's what my video this morning was about. So if you didn't check this out, check it out. But Sushi is a fork of Uniswap. Sushi Swap is. So there's gamification built in, but ultimately it's a DEX, and you can also stake in a liquidity pool, but you get rewarded in Sushi. So there's a additional bonus incentive where Uniswap does not have, and it got added to Binance. So it came down a little bit. I think after pumping, it came down. But if it is, according to the latest article, oh, my OBS disconnected. If Sushi does have 800 million locked in, that means their LM ratio is extremely good. Extremely good. Anything over 1 is good. The higher the number, the better. Meaning the locked in value is way higher than the market price, which it is. If it's true. But Sushi Swap has not been added on DeFi Pulse yet, so I don't know how legit it is. But if it is, then it is very undervalued right now. At least according to the ratio compared to other projects in this space. So yeah, I don't know if I'm having internet problems. I got disconnected all of a sudden. Dent. Why are you asking about Dent? From the very beginning, I've always said Dent cannot make it. There's no way they can make it. They're at the mercy of the mobile carriers. Dent is trying to decentralize mobile data, and that won't happen because most countries, there's heavy regulations in terms of who could be a mobile carrier, who can afford a tower. Really, no one. So they're not gonna negotiate. These carriers, they're not gonna negotiate with Dent. And this whole concept of getting their cards to get a discount or whatever, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, so not a fan of Dent. Not a fan of Dent at all. Dreamer, appreciate it. Yes, Tokyo keeps saying they have a question, but they never asked a question, so I don't know what they're talking about. Horizon used to be Zencash, and once upon a time they were accepted at Pornhub. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but a lot of security coins, I don't know if I don't trust these privacy. They're not security coins, privacy coins. I don't know if I trust privacy coins. right now, people that are using privacy coins mostly for illegal activities, like Monero, which is the most widely used token or coin in the darknet. But also, exchanges are cracking down on privacy coins because governments don't like them. Governments wants to track transactions. So I don't know. I don't know how it is going forward, if they're all going to be delisted by the exchanges or not. Maybe. Well, Bitcoin hasn't gone up. 11.8. Jazzy Ban IG. Okay. Weird name, but I appreciate the super chat. I have a 94 Civic hatch with a K swap 6-speed my daily. Wow. Nice. No, I'm not a fan of Monero. Nem. I don't like Nem because they went bankrupt and they basically asked the community to contribute. I don't like any projects that can't manage their money. So, not a fan of them. They were big in Japan. And so was Cardano. I don't know if Cardano just ate their lunch, but yeah, not a fan. Yeah, see, Kava is a good one. Kava, I'm actually disappointed they haven't moved, but Kava is also interesting. I did a video on Kava, right? The next big thing in DeFi. I mean, they're a lending play, but they're concentrated on protocols that's not Ethereum. That's the important thing. They're built on Cosmos. They have a lot going for them, but right now they're not getting a lot of traction. Hopefully they do. But if you want to learn more about it, check out that project. There is something going on with my internet. My OBS keeps saying it's disconnecting and reconnecting. I don't know what's going on. So I think I will end this session. It's about an hour. What do I think about OMG? I think OMG solidified itself or legitimized itself or its network because Tether has moved over. Tether is no joke. Tether has 50 billion in volume. 50 billion per day. That is more than Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. And if Tether feels like they can trust OMG's network, that anyone can trust OMG's network. So it definitely legitimized them. In terms of their price, when I talked about OMG, when they first pumped up to $10, I'm like, be careful. It could fall down to $5, right? But I do think it'll recover back up. You got to wait for it to bottom out because it basically went from like $2 to $10 overnight. So we'll see. Once OMG bottoms out, it's still in a very good spot. 700 million, that's pretty big. So once they bottom out, I think it'll be a good pickup because I think Tether really, really, really legitimizes OMG, and others could move over to OMG too because Ethereum is so congested. So yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'm going to do a video tomorrow or release a video because I'm having this night session. Hopefully this was good for you guys. RB3, appreciate it. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin tomorrow. I told you guys there's a phenomenon with Bitcoin. It drops every Tuesday, right? So it could be that tonight it drops down. And I don't know why it does. It's just every Tuesday it drops down and it kind of picks up in a day or so. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. We'll see what happens to the rest of the altcoins. But today was a pretty good day. Almost everything went up. So if you had something that didn't go up, that's a shame, I guess. But anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you smash up the likes. I do have another channel. I don't know if you guys noticed. I have several channels, but I did start a vlog channel. I know a lot of you guys love to interact with me. So that's the whole point. Want to learn more about me and my life. I know that's a little creepy, but it's okay. It's the life of a YouTuber, I guess. But I did start another channel. It's just under my name. Some of you guys joined, some of you guys didn't. But if you want to learn more about me and interact with me and ask questions about whatever, follow me there. I have it pinned to the first comment of this video, so follow me. I have 2 videos up, you know, kind of basic ones, but I do plan on having more videos there. So hopefully I could grow that and just be more personal on that channel. All right, guys, that is it. I guess I'll end it. I'll end it since I was asked about XRP, and some people still love XRP and wondering if it could go up back to all-time highs. Yeah, I have a good video that kind of answers that. So enjoy and have a good night. All right, bye-bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.